Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday, the 20th of October. Beginning to read Paul's second letter to the Thessalonians. In verse 3 of chapter 1, he tells them the following: "We ought always to thank God for you, brothers and sisters, and rightly so, because your faith is growing more and more, and the love every one of you has for each other is increasing. Therefore, among God's churches, we boast about your perseverance and faith in all the persecutions and trials you are enduring." And as I read that, I thought, here's Paul commending the church in Thessalonica, saying that we thank God for you because your faith is growing and your love is increasing. And you have this picture of this church of flourishing people, love being shared. They're growing in faith. The gospel is being preached. Everything's going well. It's a picture of a wonderful church. And it's a church that is then reported around the world. And Paul says, among God's churches, we boast about you. And he's taking the example that they offer and spreading that around the other churches, saying, look at the Thessalonians, look how they're doing, look at their love, look at their faith. But he also says, we boast about you, your perseverance and faith in the persecutions and trials. And we so often think that if a church is flourishing and if there's love and faith growing, that'll be because they're having it easy and there's just blessing on them and it's peaceful. Whereas in the case of the Thessalonian church, they were under persecution. They were being harassed. They were having all sorts of trials brought on by the society around them, and they were struggling. This wasn't plain sailing for them. There was a challenge, a real challenge, but in the midst of the challenge, they were flourishing. And sometimes we tend to think when we see challenges approaching, oh, things are going wrong, the wheels are coming off, there's a problem. Whereas in actual fact, maybe as the challenges are approaching, we need to be saying, God, take us through this, like you did the Thessalonian church, like you did so many other churches through the ages. Help us to rise above it. Help us to hang on to you more tightly. Help us to walk more closely with you in these difficult times, so that people can say about us as Christians, about us as a church, among God's churches, we boast about your perseverance and faith in the persecutions and trials. So we constantly pray that our lives will go well, that they won't be full of trouble. That is the ideal. But so often that's not the case. And I just pray that as we face those trials, as we walk through those dark valleys, we will have our faith increasing and our love increasing and our witness, the light of God, shining through us ever more brightly. Be encouraged by that thought and be blessed.